Socially aware ka ba, Herman?
Trying to be
Digital
like
migrant.
digital like that right now. Many of us are with radio. Several years back, there was somebody who said that radio is dead, or radio was dying, but good enough. He was proven to be wrong. Radio was not dead, it's not dying, and it's good to know, as I was saying earlier in my previous remarks, that many in radio, though much is to be desired, are flexible and were able to adapt to the digital wave hitting the entire world. No? So we understand that evolution of media is really there. It evolves so fast. The question is, can we predict what will come next? Or there might just be another very bright idea that would again revolutionize everything, that would cause another situation that bigla iba naman yung takbo natin sa media. What is next, Manny? What do you think will happen?
Like what I mentioned kanina kasi, I think we should be in that context that change is inevitable, technology is always fast. So, can we predict what's going to be the next big thing? It's very difficult. However, I think what, for example, KBP is already an established organization, and you already have a legacy. I think in any type of media companies, sometimes it's really about your storytelling. So how do you create new audiences on digital media? Be consistent with what's the purpose of your company. If you guys don't mind, I just share this insight which we did in our interactive summit a few months back. Our main purpose, we said, you have to hit the heart of digital. What's the heart of digital? It's the consumers. Right? The consumer, their preferences will never change. The need for music, the need for news, it's always going to be the same. So, I think, don't be threatened by technology. I think the threat there is, are you starting to become irrelevant to your audience? As long as you remain to be relevant to your audience, technology is just a tool for you.
Last question from Father Bo. We'll recognize Bobby after that to close.
Para kay Chairman Gabby, kanina po you wanted to tell us na there is a one TV. So I would download it, I went to my iPad. And then afterwards, sabi ko, kukunin ko nga yung be careful with my heart. Ang problema po ay kailangan mag-sign up ka muna. So nag-sign up ako, medyo matagal, kanina experience eh. Pagkatapos, tatanong kung subscriber ka ba ng Sky Cable, etc. Ay medyo matagal po, ano? Pagkatapos, kung wala, ay baka may account number. Pwede ho ba na nabibigyan na lang yung card? Gaya sa amin po, sa akin, for example, wala akong card, wala akong ITR, ay pare ko eh. Tapos, so, marami din ho ng mga simpleng tao lang na wala naman talagang subscription ng cable, walang ganito, etc. Ay pero nakakabili ho ng 30 pesos na card ba na pwede mong i-load na yun para maka-download ka naman ng mga naka-archive, for example. Is that possible now?
Yeah, we'll have a special price, basta KBP member.
Alright. Hindi naman sinasabi na KBP member ka pa. Nakalagay doon eh.
Nakalagay natin.
Kasi pang-cellphone ko sana, pero hindi.
Si Father talaga, alam niya, nasa Korea kami ni Father. Ayaw nilang maniwalang pare siya sa ganyan style ko. Pero always ask, is that guy really a priest? Yeah, Bobby, okay, you'll have the last question, or would like to fill the...
maybe on a final note, I'd like to ask, sorry Sir Gabby if I, Manny kasi is one of our heads of our sister company, so I'd like to focus a question on you. Maybe as parting words on behalf of all the KBP members. A lot of us look up to ABS-CBN. And you being the head of this organization, you seem to be always a couple of steps ahead of competition. We'd like to be like you one of these days. I'm sure a lot of us here would like to aspire to be an ABS-CBN one of these days. So how can we be at par with you at least, if not dislodge you one of these days? What would you advise us aspiring networks, one station operation stations? No, I'm not asking you to impart your secrets, but maybe give us an inspiration of how we can be at least the second network. Second to ABS-CBN. Hindi, huwag na third. Second na. Wala naman yung second dito eh. How could we? Wala naman, hindi naman kasali yung second dito eh. How can we be at least give you a good competition? Words of advice from Mr. Gabby Lopez.
You know, there's no secret sauce, Bobby. No? I think it's as Manny said. No? Our mission is in the service of the Filipino. You could also say that we're market driven, we're consumer driven. It's no secret. We're just following the Filipino. Okay, the Filipino is actually very digitally conversant. We're following him around the world. We know that he wants to talk to his kapamilya in the Philippines. So we're trying to find ways to create an environment that makes it easier for him to directly talk to his Filipinos yung mga kapamilya niya sa Philippines. Yung mga nobya, they want to watch the same show, but one is in Riyadh and one is in Manila. But they want to watch the same show at the same time. So that's what we're doing. We're creating the mechanism that allows people to live their lives the way they want to in the digital world. So yun lang. There's no secret to it. If you just follow, the Filipino and what he's doing, basta mamili ka ng market mo. Baka your market is the Cebuano. Or, because the market will be very fragmented. I think you have to choose a niche that you can defend, that is unique, that has a value proposition that you can fight for, and that will be different from what anybody else is doing. If you can find it, you will live, you will survive, whether it's digital or analog.
Okay, those are interesting topics. Let me thank our guests. By the way, yung digital devices, word of advice, ito totoo ha. Every time you're dealing with people in an adversarial situation, always assume that you are being recorded. Totoo yun. Okay, maraming salamat, sirs. Let's give them a big hand again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gabby Lopez and Mr. Manny Fernando. And thank you, Attorney Reggie. We will have a coffee break as we prepare for the next segment of today's program.